from the powder coater and from over there at the water jet. And well, they did get half of my order done over there at the water jet. It's a whole mess. So clearly they were in a hurry, tried to knock it out real quick, and they didn't really pay attention. So they actually tried to charge me to design, cut, and for the material on the aluminum mounting bracket that my parking brake actually came with. So yeah, so there was a little let's call it a miscommunication there. So they said they're gonna sort it all out and have the order done for me hopefully Monday or Tuesday, but they did only print out half of the order. So they basically did a left side instead of left and right as a matching pair. So once they get those done, we'll bring them home, test fit them on the car, make any revisions that are needed, and then the brackets will become a regular production thing for those of you that want to do the wheelwood upgrade with the parking brakes, spot parking brake calipers. So that's, so that's done. Now, we went over to FabTech, who is my powder coater guy, and the Fiesta was plumb full of parts, which I'll put a picture in here. Who says you need a truck to haul stuff, right? So we got, let's see, front and rear subframes for 84 to 87 Fiero, A-arms, the whole entire suspension. We just dropped that off to powder coater for an upcoming build that I'm working on. So, you know, be prepared for some subframe content. And it's going to be done nice. It's going to be done right, which is the way I like it. After dealing with Jesse's car, it's a nice change. Car's coming along. Brian will be here, and the Blur is supposed to run and drive. Now, of course, Brian changed that all, and now he wants to slap turbo on it while he's here. Got a lot going on next month. Next month's going to be a busy month, not only between hopefully getting Jesse's car done this month, and then finishing up some odds and ends on the Blur, but then I have to go on a little trip, and Cindy and I have to go on a little trip. I'll tell you about that when we get back, but that's a big one. That could be a big change, so we're going to see how that works out. And then, of course, Brian will be here. So those have asked, when's the Blur supposed to be done? Well, it is a project car, so usually never. But it will be running and driving sometime very, very soon. And I know I keep saying that, but I don't want to give you a hard deadline. You know, everybody starts like, revolt, why isn't it running? Let's just say it's there already. You know, just getting it running and driving is just one stage. Then we got to do the whole interior, and that's going to be sick. And with the advent of 3D printing, and I mean, you got to think we're in the infancy of 3D printing. So we're like, put that in perspective, we're like at the dial-up stage, you know, dial-up modems. You know, I'd say another 5-10 years when we get up to like the fiber optic level. Man, you'll be able to go on Amazon or whatever and, yep, this is what I want. Push a button and it prints out right there on your desk. It's coming. And I'm so excited because that's super cool. So we just made it to the house. We get these, get in here, and I don't know if I'm going to work on the car or not today, but we'll see. So, we'll see you then the shop at some point. All right, everybody, welcome back to the K-Swap. My name is Steven Vincent. This is the Blur, and this pretty little thing is my service dog, Cindy. And she wanted to come down and hang out with us while we work on Brian's car. Now, today, what are we going to do? We have to be, get prepared for when Garth visits on the 20th. So we got, what, less than 2 weeks before Garth gets here, and he's going to go over the wiring, make sure everything's good. So my job before then is to get the brake lines done, get the wheelwoods back on the car when I need to run a new clutch line from front to rear, because the Blur used to be a manual, then I converted it to an automatic, and I removed every trace of it being a manual. Yeah, so now I have to put it all back. It's kind of funny how that works. So that's why you see on this line right here, that's going to be, I think that's 3/16 or -3. We're going to set that up to be the new clutch hydraulic line. So Cindy's going to be supervising, right, girl? Down. Yes, good girl. What do you think? Should we get to work? Should we get to work? Sit. Yes. All right, let's do this. Of the blur, as you can clearly see, we'll walk back over there. You'll see we already have all the wheel woods and stuff down on the front of the car. Obviously, you're not going to see it through the toolboxes. But speaking of toolboxes, Chase and I spent 2 days, I'd say.
No.
Yeah, I'd say it was at least 2 days reorganizing the shop after the whole Exxon Valdez oil spill in the garage. We decided to literally take everything out of here, set it outside, and then wash the floor, chemically strip the concrete, and then kind of reorganize things. And I think this will be on, I think we got it, don't you think? How many times can I say think? What are you doing, girly girl? Cindy's here supervising as usual. Okay, one of the things we did is we used the awesome winch that Jesse got for us that I made and mounted up here. And we use that to pick up this drivetrain, this 49, for our next customer, Michael. And we set it up on this dolly. So that way we can seal it all up, take it out to the very edge of the shop, and this thing's going to get cleaned and pressure washed and degreased and looking good and ready for when Michael's car arrives here. I would imagine in a few weeks. Just depends on the fate of that turd. Okay, so as you can see where the stack of tires are, that's where the blur used to be. And this is some of the suspension that's going on Michael's car. That's got the Corvette brakes, Corvette rotors, and all that stuff.
Corvette
I would
stuff.
suggest he buys new struts because God knows how old those are. God knows how old those are. Yeah, so anyway.
Why are you looking for me for grammar?
We got the blur sitting over here looking all pretty. We got it all up on jack stands all the way around.
I'm shorter. I can do that.
I tell you what, the blur does look good. I mean, I don't do show cars, but she's pretty clean. Right, girl? You agree, don't you? That's a good girl.
Just gonna nod your head.
Haven't done a whole lot in here with K-swap. Everything is ready. I'm literally just waiting on Garth. He's going to come, double check all the wiring, make sure everything's good. Obviously, we got the shifter cables all installed. So, where are we at? We need to get
Stuff.
this in there. Oh, and what I did when I ordered the hard line to do up the hoop clutch, I also ordered the armor for the line. This helps protect the line from like stones, things like that, just like factory. So we did get a section of this, so that's good. We got a flexible section that's going to go just like the factory did on the Getrag 5-speed in the Fieros. So we'll have the hard line's going to come up to this, and then this flexible line will go over to the clutch slave cylinder, just like stock, because that's how I roll. And then we have an assortment of fittings that'll help us get this all fit together. Yay, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Stuff.
All right, so the fun part is we need to get all this figured out and start getting that line ran. Nailed it. Oh, what else did we have?
Stuff.
Redundant.
What does that mean?
You keep saying the same thing over and over and over.
What about
Like, Okay, we got the brake lines for Brian's car. These are braided steel brake lines. Let's take a look. See what we got in the box here. Better have some Go Fast stickers to add 45 horsepower.
Stickers do
It
it all.
does. It's got Go Faster stickers. Yeah. Oh, look, it even gives us the torque specs. Isn't that handy?
Yay.
All right, so we got to put these on Brian's car. We can go ahead and put on the fronts, the rears. Actually, we can go ahead and we can put them completely on. We just don't have a caliper to mount them on the back. So let's get to work. Are you supervising, girl? Yes, you are. You're such a pretty girl. Yes, you are. All right, so what we got under here, we do have the Willwood D154s on 11.25-inch rotors. This car had braided lines, but they've been sitting and open to atmosphere for so long, they're probably okay. But I got new ones, so we might as well replace them. These are Earls, so there's a little bit better quality. But we're going to take these off. We do have nice insulated addle clamps that we'll use to hold it on instead of a red zip tie, because baller, why not?
It's dead.
Is it dead? Okay.
It's dead.
Right there. All right. Putting light on this?
I'm sorry, I'm petting Cindy.
I noticed.
It's distracting.
All right.
You can't deny she's beautiful.
Oh, she's awesome. All right, that's one brake line on. Ta-da! Now all we gotta do is put our insulated addle clamp on right there. Might even put a riv nut in one of those holes, and then boom. That's it.
Yeet.
All right, we just gonna do it 3 more times.
Yay!
We'll see you when we're done. This is the clutch master cylinder that we're using. We need to be able to get a line to this, over and down in there. You see where all the lines pass through that rubber buck right there? That pass through down there? We have to be able to get the line down there, run all the way under the car, turn this way, under the car, and then over. If you look down there, you see those 2 bolts that I'm pointing at? Right down there? That is the clutch slave cylinder. We have to be able to get the line at least to the firewall, and then we're going to make a flexible hose, just like factory that they used on like the 5-speed Getrag, and jump from the firewall over to the engine. That way, using a flexible line, the metal line doesn't get fatigued by all the vibrations from the drivetrain. So that's what we're going to do, just like Pontiac did it. So let's get to work. All right, this is a selection of tools that we can use to make this line. You have your typical cheap, parts store tubing bender. These are actually really easy to use. You basically just point it in the direction you want to bend and off you go. So we have your typical multi-size tubing bender. These are a little difficult. People seem to forget that wherever you push that down is the direction the pipe's going to bend. I have a very nice old tubing cutter. And then over here, we've got the tubing cutter that's in the Calvan setup. This is a hydraulic flare tool. Could do a bunch of different sizes, I think. That's going to be good. We have a bunch of different fittings at our disposal, including a whole box more. A whole box more? A whole other box full of fittings that we can use. This is, if you don't have a manual in your Fiero, this is the plug that you're looking for that'll be up on the front firewall. You have to take this out in order to put the clutch master cylinder in place. All right, let's get on. All right, well, was that interesting, Chase, or was that interesting?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a shower because I feel like I got spiders all over me. In a second, I'll show you what it looks like under the car. But if you have arachnophobia, beware. I don't like spiders. All right, so we got a line. It's literally fed down through the stock grommet, all the way back underneath the car to the back bumper. That should give us plenty of slack on each side in case I mess up. Need more room to do the flare. We're gonna have to cut this, I'd say, somewhere back here, because we actually might have to take this one off, use the bender, bend it down and around, come up, and give us some extra here. If you see any spiders on me, you have my permission. Just go ahead and set me on fire, just to be sure. we kill them. Things you maybe shouldn't say. Alright, we got this.
He stole my not my magnet. It's magnet's here.
Alright, now we need to do our cut. Right there. And we get the flare of this on the car. Alright, so one of the tricks you gotta do when you're flaring line, you gotta make sure there's no edges. So you follow the edge. Now these are really sharp files, so be careful we're not taking off too much material. Feel it? No burrs? Okay. Alright, so we tried a few times over on the workbench to do the inverted flare for the clutch line. As you can see, it is on and done. Luckily, I was actually doing the flare and I remembered I didn't put the fitting on. So luckily I caught that before I made the flare. So now I just got to put it on the clutch master cylinder and see what's what. And then underneath the car, button all the line up, and then start making the bracket in the back for our flexible braided line. Let's get it.
Fire?
No, no fire. No fire. What is it with you with fire today?
Fire.
No fire.
Fire.
Fire bad.
Fire. Fire.
Alright, we're just buttoning up. Got the line on, just snugging it down.
Nothing special.
Nice. Clutch line is on.
Yay.
And I didn't even have to use the banjo like I thought I was going to have to. Which is why I went with this master cylinder other than the other one, is because the fitting here for the brake line put it right up against the sheet metal. So this new one actually gave me a little more room to work with.
Did it now.
Yeah. There it is, tightening up.
Well, I can tell you right now.
Brake line, or clutch master cylinder line on.
We should use this for close-up stands, like the one on the
There it is.
welding table. Okay. How about you?
There it is, clutch line on. Nice!
How do you feel about doing that?
I'm glad that part's over.
Actually, I'm gonna sit here and see what she does. Cindy, come. That was fast. Yes. Good girl.
Alright, I gotta go under the car and put on the armor.
Do you know?
Yep. Unfortunately. Oh, you should get some footage under here of the spider.
Warning! Warning! There is very spooky, scary spiders.
I had surgery and I shouldn't be in here because it's only been, what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Ow! I'm gonna end up tearing a stitch.
There we go.
Work must be done.
He's disappearing into the abyss.
I'm putting on the armor. Here, you want to hold it in?
Cindy, Andy, I know you're a good supervisor, but stay awake.
Yeah, please. I don't need her licking my face right now.
Cindy! Place.
She's micromanaging.
Good girl.
The technician?
Stay. No, Cindy, attack me. Here.
Get the line.
Attempting to. Oh, well, you've got it. It's gone. It disappeared from my grasp.
Alright, so it's all the way up front.
Yeah. So do we buy it.
Spiders! I hate spiders. Oh, someone's coming.
You dropped them on their heads like you did to me.
That was only a few times when you were only a baby. See, because I removed all this last time when I originally did the manual to automatic swap. I removed everything like you should. This thing really needs to have the subframe pulled out, sandblasted and powder coated, as well as the sway bar. This has got aftermarket sway bar on it from somebody. I don't know how well you can see that. It might be pretty dark. But that's where we ran the brake line or the clutch line through, and it's going to be routed along the bottom of the car just like stock. Eventually, if I don't die from being attacked by spiders.
You're lucky. You get the thing that can roll around.
Don't we have 2 of them?
No.
Oh, sorry.
The only other one that I'd have to like construct it.
Oh, wait. Extreme camera angles.
I don't want to do that anymore. It hurt a lot.
Well, the good news is the armor went all the way. All right, right up here is the clutch slave cylinder. So as you can see, we gave ourselves a lot of extra. So what I'm thinking about doing, Chase, is putting us using this right here bracket. All we need is a short, flexible braided line from there to wherever we put this. I think that'll do it. Don't you?
I agree with everything you just said.
You don't know that.
What?
You don't know about any of that. All right, look. Right to where we wanted it. Right there. Look at there. And then look, right to the thing. All right, well, luckily, when we took the old brake lines off the Fiero, they had these adapters that go from brake line to -3. Well, it fits in the braided line that we're going to use to go from the hard line over to the clutch slave cylinder, which is right here. So next thing you know, we do have a fitting that seems to thread in there, but there is also this big adapter. I'm gonna go to Rooster's tomorrow and see if we can use a banjo bolt with the fitting off to the side. That way we can thread this in and it'll have the AN fitting to go like that, so it'll go in like this. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. So we'll see you at Rooster's, see what we can find out. All right, see you then. All right, we are on our way to Roosters. I don't know why I keep saying it that way. Why do I keep saying it that way?
Because you're hillbilly.
I'm not hillbilly. It's
You're
just
hillbilly.
a very hillbilly name, isn't it? Let's go to Roosters.
You're a hillbilly.
Well, I've lived everywhere longer than I've lived in West Virginia. Thank you very much. So, all right. So here's the plan. We're gonna run over to Roosters,
Hillbilly.
and get the Honda clutch slave cylinder. We found out it's got a weird pinned inverted flare fitting, which is kind of weird that they would pin it into the casting like that. So we're gonna go over there and see what our options are. I would love to be able to use a banjo style fitting, but we'll see what Rooster's got to say about it. Cindy's dancing around in the back seat, coming along super thighs.
Little boy.
I'll park over here in the shade for you guys like I always
Rooster.
All right, well, we're just leaving Roosters, and we ran into a bit of a fail. We need an M10 by 1.0 banjo to a -3 AN fitting. They seem to think that that's just not something they have, and it'll be a specialty fitting. So I know I've seen those banjo bolts with the AN fittings on the other end. It's just a matter of looking them up online. Shouldn't take too long. So we will come up with a really simple solution to adapt the Honda slave cylinder to the Fiero's hydraulics, clutch hydraulics. So we'll see what we find on the internet.